Okay, so I've been studying this third and fourth dimensional space and just trying to get a clear understanding of how the relationships all kind of coincide within each other. So let's kind of talk about that a little bit. All right, so this would be like typical like daywalker right here. They wouldn't have this is like the witch, and this would be like the reptilian over them, and this would kind of like be in the same bracketization of like all those Sheol type people, I guess, perhaps. And then you would be like somewhere right here. And this is a contained capacity or a genetic trait that would make this view space viewable. So this third dimension is where all us have been whittled down to down here. But we can't see what they can see, even because to my I'm starting to become more understanding is that you can't give all of these people that make up the whole population like a certain pill or whatever, but these people could. These higher up Mason type witch type people would receive like something that makes it to where they have some of their power. So it's all capped off. It's like either um, someone putting a titanium block over your top hat and saying this is as far as you can go by giving you some solution that keeps you in control or whatever. But that's the same reason why it takes us so long to get where we're at, because we don't get this genetic trait that automatically makes it the glues not susceptible, and we don't get their special medicine. So we got to work our way up and then still not see what they can see down here. Even though once you're like around here, you can touch one of these guys and it'll hurt them. That's why. It's because you're really up here. By the time you start hurting yourself with like your electricity, it takes you to a place to where you can't really be um, manipulated or anything. Like you can't mentally or physically, because if you go back and touch this guy, even on a level down here, you can still harm these guys up here. Like all of them would just be like, oh no. So they're really not that powerful. But if they create a hierarchy of people who have limited functionalities about themselves, it creates a hierarchy, and it says, hey, we're up here, even though these people uncaged would be able to do something to this because they would have the ability to add that into the mix. Like they would start sun gazing or whatever. But for them to have anything, they take adrenochrome, things like that, of that nature, to kind of maintain something. So they can all kind of mingle within the third dimension in half. So they have some of what this has to offer to create the illusion of what might be witchcraft in this space here where we're all at. The faces and everything that connect are a lot like a totem pole that go and create a grid space. The whole floor, ground, every hillside, everything's got faces. Up this way, everywhere, inside of your house, outside of your house, all no space between spaces, all faces. The air is the same way, and the void spaces that sit between these are the same. They're all faces all the way through and through. And what I imagine is that they probably really look more like this, like the little ischias fish kind of going and coinciding and forming eights, all like kind of synergy, like around each other in loops and spirals and eights. That's what it seems like it's probably more like, even though that's more intricate and complicated. It's easier for me to draw this and then explain that and then to show that and then to say this versus just like, because this would be going in every direction, this way and that way. So it's like coinciding, like spiraling. Uh, you look at a leaf when it blows, it's just kind of like showing you, it's like a sea of consciousness that does that. You take a sheet and you throw it and it just kind of twists into a face. I don't know. It just seems like they're more like moving around like that. Everything seems to be flowing more than it is like flat. But yeah, so the top hat, the hat that I'm going for is pushing my head up into this space right here. And as I'm getting here, I'm kind of like right around here, and it feels super crazy. It's like it's rushing you into this world where you immediately start acknowledging stuff. And that's when I was like, wait, Mickey can do anything. So like right around here, It's where I went when I fasted, and it was the only time I could do it. She kept telling me stop smoking and drinking, like right around that time. It made me real sensitive to the thing. And what I can tell is the same as mixing turpentine with alcohol. You can only do it like one time really well. DMT, you smoke it, you only blast off really one time really good. But the one thing that I noticed, the DMT in your head is not like that. It's like a geese that lays golden eggs. It's just like if you use it up, it comes back. You get used to it, but there's more to get. If you get used to it, there's more to. You go up more, and then you get more like holy, and then you get used to that, and you go more. So when I do it, my senses of this environment dither out like. I was like, holy shit! I'm like, I can tell that I'm teleporting. Like that's essentially what it is opening the brain up to access the beginning and the end, all encompassing factors of superhuman abilities, from teleportation to manifestation to it's all in the same little area. Literally, you just push into it and it's just and then you can just go back and forth after that. But yeah, that's my understanding of it. As I've been gaining this excessive sun gazing, like 8 hours. I just prime my eyes open for like 10 song sessions, and it really lets in the ability to make the brain perceive in a very concise manner like this. So it's really good, very good, crucial spiritual nourishment for your brain and body is sun gazing for as long as possible. So I kind of do like a top hat to kind of show, because you'd have like, I think I got 2 more layers. So this was my sergeant hat here, and then I leveled my sergeant hat. Then I went up, and that was just pretty much my whole day yesterday. Just that's it. That's all I did. And from my understanding, she says I got 2 more levels, and then I'll have the whole thing. That's when I was talking to the cheekster. 2 more levels up. So if I bust this up, it's gonna be like totally nuts. I'm gonna be like, what? That's gonna be crazy. I don't even know if Mickey's gonna come out yet, but I see him in my astral space. Like he's always floating around now, more so. The more closer I get to him. Boom, and then a high sergeant hat. So this is Pharrell's hat right here. He leveled out his sergeant. So that's kind of like you probably would have something, perception and everything. Because Pharrell's hat is it's all anatomical. It's all mathematically correct, everything you're seeing. So when people get on that level, they do things precise, so people get it. So the Pharrell hat is like this, boom, with a nugget like that, and then the full top hat is like, psh. But see, the thing is here is I'm creating a bracket system. The top hat is like a calcification of, so we could go cat in the hat if we want. We can go really high. And as a matter of fact, to push the issue even further, say you're right here, right? Your shit goes to the light, like a giant cone that goes straight up into the sun. That's how far our shit goes. It's crazy. So you only need the top hat to have like full blown, like magical, whatever, or what appears to be enough for what you need it for. But our shit really can do like and go straight up. So there's a lot of diagrams that show that. I did a video in the past where it shows like people sitting at a table and they're eating less, and they became, as the more they sun gaze, and their cone reaches the sun. So I did a few videos on that actually. So that is a breakdown of the third and fourth dimension. Excuse me, for third and fourth dimensional space. Void spaces are in between that bridge the gaps, and that's what I've been seeing. That's what I've been figuring out, and I hope you enjoyed this as much as I did. Stay tuned for more Grim Nancy TV. Onward we go, because when we get awake, we stay awake.